The story for NieR Automata takes place after the events of the original NieR in a post-apocalyptic setting where remnants of humanity have fled to the moon after a machine army from another world has taken complete control of the Earth. To combat this threat, humanity eventually sends down combat androids dubbed Yorha to fight the invaders in a proxy war. Over the course of the game, you will play as 3 of these androids named 2B, 9S, and A2. 2B and 9S's main objective is to investigate the activity in the area and aid the resistance on the planet as much as they can. But when things get a little more out of hand, then you will take control of A2, who at first starts out as more of a loner, but will eventually inherit the objectives of a specific character and must carry on the fight from a certain point of view. Now, me being a story-driven gamer, I can honestly say that the overall plot can be very confusing from the beginning, as characters will emerge that are not given much explanation on exactly what they are, but it is the mystery aspect that really is the driving force for the story's interest. Seeing specific events from different points of view will challenge you to discover exactly what is going on and how certain revelations about specific characters can have a major impact on one's personal viewpoint as the story progresses. The game is also given a multitude of different endings that encourage replaying the game to see all the multiple twists and turns that the story can take depending on your actions. But this does lead to the main personal problem that I had with the story, and that is how the overarching story is told. There is certainly a lot of creative plot points and philosophical moments that really dive into whether or not machines can have emotions, but the game kind of makes you start a new game in order to begin a new chapter, and the ending I felt was completely ridiculous, as it gives you 2 options, one of which requires you to do something with all of your progress, which may play into the story itself, but as the game is completely absurd. Though the story for NieR Automata is a fascinating one, I do not believe that it will work well for those who are looking for a much more linear and straightforward plot. The gameplay for NieR Automata is that of an open-world action RPG divided between combat and exploration. The combat gameplay is action-based, with the player's characters fighting enemies in real time in a variety of different locations. Just as it was in the previous installment, when your character is navigating through different environments, the camera will shift from its standard third-person view to an overhead side-scrolling perspective. During ground combat, the player can perform light and heavy attacks in combination with each other to deliver more damage to your opponents. You can also evade enemy attacks, and if timed correctly, it will allow your character to become not only invulnerable, but can launch a counterattack dealing even serious amounts of damage. No matter what character you choose to play as, you will be assigned a flying robot called a pod, which will act as your primary tool for firing off ranged attacks, which can be customized with a variety of different firing modes, from bullets, missiles, to even lasers. There's a wide variety of weapons that you can not only collect, but can upgrade by collecting materials during missions. As the players progress, your character will gain experience and level up, which will increase your health, defense, and attack strength. There is also a character customization system that allows you to install chips within your characters that can give them special perks and enhance their combative performance. These chips can either be purchased at shops or picked up by defeating enemies in battle. One of the really stranger gameplay elements that I encountered is what happens if you happen to die. If you happen to be playing this game online and your character goes down, you will resurrect into a new body, but with none of the items that you have collected. In order to retrieve your stuff, you have to go back to the very spot you previously died and retrieve your previous body. And if you happen to die again without recovering your stuff, then you may end up losing all of it, which would really suck. Design-wise, NieR Automata is a beautiful game to look at, with a great amount of different locations like deserts, urban cities, and even massive machine factories that all have stunning visuals. I would also like to praise whoever was in charge of programming the camera angles, as no matter what you're doing, whether you're in the midst of combat or simply traveling through your environment, you will also have the best angle possible. I don't usually talk about a game's art design, but the artists here have done an incredible job creating a very unique world with character models that are very unique and memorable. The voice acting from all of the characters throughout the game is great, and the entire cast is able to give off some really great performances from characters that are designed to have no emotions. NieR Automata also has one of the best soundtracks that I've heard in some time, enhancing both moments of action and combat, as well as the more subtler and emotional moments. Being a fast-paced action hack-and-slash title, this game runs incredibly smooth, and at no time did I encounter any serious amounts of technical issues. Overall, NieR Automata is simply a very well-designed game in just about every single department, and continues the long line of great action games from publishers Square-Enix and developers Platinum Games. Now in conclusion, NieR Automata is simply a fantastic game. There's just no getting around that. The overall visual style and world building setting is really a fantastic choice for the type of story that they're trying to tell. I thought the gameplay was very addicting, and the RPG elements is very expansive, to the point where you'll really want to change and experiment and get used to the different characters and their playstyle that really will keep you coming back for more. If there's really any main issue I had with the game, it was not so much the story itself, and how complicated it was. It was more or less I wasn't a big fan of how the story was told. I think that there was a different, more smoother way that they could actually get their message across and make the telling of the plot a lot smoother. I think having these little pauses every once in a while, I think really kind of cuts you off, and then you kind of have to restart and you're kind of in a different area and you're kind of a little bit confused, which did happen to me during my playthrough. But that doesn't stop it from still being an incredible game, and I highly recommend you pick this up if you haven't already, or at least try it out. If I had to give NieR Automata a rating, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. Certainly pick this up, and it's certainly, in my opinion, probably one of the better games I've played this year by far. I'm not sure if I would give it, say, Game of the Year level, but probably in the lower tier level of that section. If you like my game review, feel free to like, comment down below, and please subscribe to keep track of my future game reviews. And like always, thank you guys for watching, you're awesome, and I'll see you next time.